saying that ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode.
Everywhere you walk, everywhere you look, there's a something. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. It's been a minute, okay? We took last week off. It's Friday. We're getting a late one. Listen, you have to forgive your boy. This is not a normal thing to have an episode miss a week. We did the canoe cast with Nico. I know some of you went and listened to it. It was a giggle of a time. Nico is a good soul. And it was fun getting out on a canoe and doing a podcast. All right. So if you haven't listened to that episode, look up the canoe cast on YouTube with Evan Lopez. That's me. Okay. Welcome to today's episode. We've been busy, ladies and gentlemen. Big announcement. You guys knew it last episode. Your boy got married. Made an honest man out of me. Okay. Straight up. Weddings are weird. Okay. And listen, we had a small wedding. Very small. Very small. There's people I wish could have came. You don't want to bother people. You don't even it's just, but also it was super small. Basically local. Some family that refused to not come, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to make a big deal out of it. All right. I am despite the fact that I get on stage at night and seek the adoration of strangers and making them laugh, I don't like a lot of attention. Okay. I don't need that. I'm not someone on their birthday who's like parading it around. I'm not going to restaurants with tiaras, and seeking that. So the idea of having a wedding is a strange thing to me. Like, I don't, some people want that. They want the fairy tale and everything. God bless you. If that's what you want, that's what you want. But the point I'm making, I don't really care about that. It was very small, still expensive. Here's a pro tip. Don't tell anybody it's a wedding when you're booking food, when you're booking a venue. Just surprise them. Okay. I say just surprise them on the wedding day that we're also going to do a little ceremony thing here. Because you know what they do? They go, oh, okay, here's a couple thousand more on top of that price because for some reason you're just locking it up. Because them's the rates. So we got to just up it for you a little bit. I tried looking on Airbnb. Okay. Here's the situation with the wedding, with what ended up happening. It was supposed to be very low key. It was only going to be my girl, obviously, myself, her best friend, my best friend, and that was just going to be it. We didn't really want a wedding because we're like, these are so expensive. It is what it is. I'm going to do this job, and I don't know if I've told this on the podcast, but I'm going to do this film job where I am going to film a location that actually was a VRBO that they were getting ready, vacation rental. I think that's what it's called. It was this mansion that had a beautiful, landscape, acreage, whatever. They were going to host wedding events and all of that. I hit them with the bill, sticker shock. They were like, the fuck is this? So then they give me, I give them the option. I go, hey, I'm actually getting married soon. If you guys just let people stay here and let me use the venue for my wedding, I'll knock off this price. And they go, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Cool. I just locked down a very nice venue for free. Granted, I have to work for it, but ideal situation for me. I'm a bartering son of a gun. Then once that's all locked in, so we actually are like, okay, well then we got to get food and then our parents want to come and blah, blah, blah. People are local. And we're like, let's start billing out. Only 16 people was the amount of people we were going to have. Everything's going smooth. A couple months before the wedding, this place reaches back out to me and goes, hey, we're so sorry. The construction's not going to be finished on the location. We can't have you stay here and we can't have the wedding here. Cool. Go fuck myself is what I interpreted. So then it turned into a situation where, now we've actually built this wedding thing. She's enjoying it. She likes the process. Now she's planning it all. listen, guys do 5 to 10% tops of wedding planning. It just is. It is what it is. Okay. That's just the nature of the beast. So now we're like, shit, we have to panic. We got to actually find a venue. And the venues all knew that we were scrambling because it's obviously a last minute thing. Dude, people plan weddings so far ahead of time. It's insane. I would never want to do a wedding more planning than a couple months because it's obnoxious. I don't like planning weddings. I don't want to talk about linens. I don't want to talk about arrangements. I don't want to talk about decorations. I'm sorry. It's just not in my vernacular. You want to talk to me about Marvel and DC? You want to talk about Alien vs. Predator? I'm in. I'm fucking here for it. But that shit just doesn't make my willy tingle at all. My willy was like, and then she'd fucking shock them back to like, beep, 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 forcing me. But I did my best to support her and to make it happen. We found this venue. It turned out to be an amazing venue, Texas Rock House. Shout out. They were great to work with. It was a lovely time, and your boy's married. The game's over, okay? The game's over. Rest of my life, I'm just done, okay? And that's the mindset going into it. And there's something calming in that. Okay, there's something nice about that. To not be out there in the rat race. Not just another squirrel looking to bust a nut. Got my nuts at home. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with it. And I'm someone who has been deathly afraid of commitment my entire life. Entire life. From the day I was born, the doctor went to cut my umbilical cord and I was like, whoa, I just met you. That's how much of commitment issues I have. Okay? But my wife, which is a weird thing to say now, I've been saying it a lot because it's a weird thing to say. A great woman. Okay. I'm lucky. And can I be honest with you? Your boy got emotional at the wedding. Okay. I did. It's just a weird thing. It's crazy. It's wild to get married, to just stand there and be like, I do. You kind of feel like you're doing a play. Like it does kind of feel a little old school. When you're like, I do. You're like, okay, now we're just doing a play for everybody here. Okay, because obviously no one talks like that. No one says, I do. Through sickness and for health, all that shit, I do. But did your boy walk out to the ceremony wearing a Lord of the Rings cloak with my best man as he wore it because we're super into the Lord of the Rings together? Yeah, I did. Fucking sue me for spicing up life a little bit and not just doing some boring ass shit. Okay. Anyway, great time. Great time. All right. Happy to be done with it. We both are. Weddings are stressful. There's a lot of emotions that are happening. It kind of makes you think about life a lot. Makes you have to face a lot of stuff with family being there and stuff. And that's not always easy. And I don't know. I'm just happy to be through it, because it does kind of, as you're getting closer and a couple months ahead, it kind of starts it's like this growing thing that just starts taking up your focus. And then once you're through it and it's done, you're like, that was such a relief to just be done with it. I have so much more energy. I'm able to focus on the things that I need to focus on. So it's just good to be back. Okay. And let's get into some topics. All right. This was an article that came up and I was like, that is ridiculous. Indonesia, and this goes hand in hand with getting married. Indonesia bans sex outside marriage as parliament passes sweeping new criminal code. Indonesian lawmakers unanimously passed a sweeping new criminal code on Tuesday that criminalizes sex outside of marriage. As part of the tranche, I don't know if that's what that word is, of changes that critics say threaten human rights and freedoms in the Southeast Asian country. The new code, which also applies to foreign residents and tourists, bans cohabitation before marriage, apostasy, and provides punishments for insulting the president or expressing views counter to the national ideology. What the fuck? Do you ever just see shit and you're like, thank God we live in America? Okay. As crazy as America is and in the weirdness we have going on and the divisiveness, we are so goddamn lucky. Okay. To be able to this is such a bad idea. At least I think. banning, I could see, no, I can't even see it because let's really break this nut open, because do we have sex too much recreationally as a culture? Maybe. If there's one thing that's probably unhealthy with America is the amount of sex that is sold, in the sense of, and like the, I don't know, I go on social media and like it feels like so much of it, like there's like I get shit taken down all the time, and those are just jokes. But then you see like basically like social media accounts just dedicated to building an OnlyFans account. Like there's so much in your face and everything, to the point like I'm on the verge of just getting rid of social media and uploading stuff remotely from software. Like that's where I'm at with it, because it doesn't do a lot good for me. It doesn't. Okay. I like seeing my friends and all that, but like there's just so much stuff that I'm just like, this is doing nothing healthy for me. So as a culture, do we probably have too much sex in your face and like just lust and everything? Probably. We probably could dial it back, especially when the younger generations are having so much trouble with porn and everything like that. Sure, the older generation too. Okay. There's got to be something with that, but I think banning sex outside of marriage, it's silly to say this, and it's so cliche to be like, you have to test drive a car before you buy it. I think that in some ways you should almost live with someone before you get married. Like, I think if you really want to see how successful of a marriage is going to be, you should do a test drive. You should slowly merge onto that freeway of love. Okay. And we're going to pretend like sex and like sexual attractiveness, I don't even know if that's a word, but like how you guys vibe sexually doesn't matter to a happy marriage. Because what's the goal? Have we ran some statistics that if you wait till marriage, it's a more successful relationship? Bullshit. Okay. Then what you're getting is a bunch of newbies. Okay. You're hitting your wedding night and you ain't got no tricks in the bag for them. Okay. That's what's happening, is you both are looking at each other going, I don't know. You know, you're both sitting there on your wedding night with some fucking instructions with an IKEA bed frame. Like, what the fuck? Where does this go? How do we do that? What happens if I put it in here? You don't want that on your wedding night. And that's also another thing that we should probably do. There probably could have relationships broken down to a science where we should put people in, they have like tests, which I don't know if these tests are like the way to do it. You know, they have like personality tests and traits, and like what you are says if you would make a good couple. But we should put people through tests, like give them slow internet for a weekend. Let's see how they handle it. Have them put together IKEA furniture together. Yeah, great. Put them on a road trip for a week. Throw a crying baby in there. Let's see how they handle it. Okay. The best relationship advice I could give someone. I know I'm a newlywed, but I've been in this relationship for quite a minute. Always just remember, it's not you versus them. It's you and them versus a problem. Bars. Wise old man bars. Burgundy, orangish, burnt orange color sweatshirt bars for you right now. I don't know why I said burgundy. But this is crazy that you would ban sex and cohabitation of people, tourists too. So if someone is just dating and they decide to go here, they can't even stay in the same room. This is just setting people up for failure. All right. Foreign residents and tourists. So you can't even stay in the same hotel room. You don't want them to disrespect your presidente? Fuck out of here with that. It does kind of feel like we're on the verge of an apocalypse though, right? I can't be the only one who's feeling this way. Like, it kind of feels like we're going towards something that's weird. Like the next 2 to 3 years might get a little wacky. Very weird. Okay. Like I don't know what happens with the economy, with just, I don't know. It does kind of feel weird. Like I feel like we are, and this just could be me. I mean, I hope I'm completely off on this, But doesn't it kind of feel like we're on the verge of something happening? We're going to look back at this and I'm going to be able to say I predicted anything just because I said I was on the verge. Like I didn't specify too much. But it just feels like we're on the verge either of something economically, politically, something weird's going to happen. It might be good if there's an asteroid that hits. Maybe we take out half. Maybe Thanos had the right idea. A little finger snap and we just kind of start over. You just got to start over sometimes, you know? It might not hurt to just maybe like not a factory reset, but just a regular reset, you know, kind of get an update. Because it does feel like that because things have just gotten so silly and out of hand. I feel like cancel culture, everything's just gotten to a weird place. Yeah, I don't know. Tech censorship. I'm just throwing out random words that mean something, but at the same time mean nothing. Kanye West, I don't even know. Kanye West has had one of the saddest falls from grace for me. Okay, as a Kanye West fan. Him and Kevin Spacey. Okay, listen. Because Kevin Spacey, House of Cards, dude, did anybody get better than Kevin Spacey? I don't know. Okay. I've said this before. Kevin Spacey could turn a lot of straight guys if he just does that thing on House of Cards where he just looks directly into your eyes and narrates. Now, I know you've never been with a man before. You know, I'd be like, you smell amazing. Anyway, what? But here's the thing with Kanye West. Amazing musician, okay? The anti-Jew stuff, not very good. Not good at all. Whenever you start thinking, like it's so crazy. It's crazy because this Kanye West stuff is a mental health issue disguised as a hate thing. Like this, we know that Kanye West is bipolar. We know, like him even going on Alex Jones. This is what's crazy is Kanye West is, to quote one of his lyrics, held the heavyweight title in two divisions, the rapping and the instrumental. He's the greatest producer of all time, in my opinion. Well, one of them. Okay. Because you can go back, you can see some, great actual music producers, but of a hip hop generation, modern generation of music, what he's been able to do with samples, the way that his brain thinks, it's just on a different plane. Literally. He just says these crazy things, and he is a perfect example of someone whose ego went completely unchecked and ate himself. Like the ego of thinking that you can say whatever. He literally said, like, I could say some anti-Semitic stuff and Adidas won't drop me. Adidas was like, why would you have to say that? Because now we have to drop you. Okay? It's just crazy, the stuff that's coming out. But Kanye West is not well mentally. Like maybe it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but we're pretending that this person is mentally stable. What is all the point of it? Like that's the thing is I don't know. There was a little bit of me thinking that when he would have these beefs and these, different things, it was all for promotion. And like, I don't know. I have to go. I don't know. I'm not even going to go back and listen to my own podcast. What the fuck? I don't really care that much. I want to say that a lot of times when he has these outbreaks, everybody would just say he was a genius. People throw out this term genius all the time. But is there anybody dumber in the realm of social awareness? Like for real. But again, you got to go back. This is a mental health issue. It's sad to see. It's sad. But I'm still going to listen to his music. I'm sorry, but when you're working out and you hear Stronger comes on, when you're working out and you're getting hyped up for a comedy show and you're driving to the venue, so you put up on your stand-up playlist to get you hyped in your head. I listen to the same couple songs before a big show, and it always starts with la 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 la. Wait till I get my money right. Oh. Bars. Okay, that and Rubber Band Man Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for the rubber band, man. Something about that just gets me going. Makes my willy tingle, gets all pumped up for a show. Just feels like a showman song, okay? But yeah, sad stuff with Kanye. I don't know where Kanye goes from here because he's been dropped from everything. It's crazy that someone's net worth can just drop from like billionaire to like multimillionaire. But then it's also like the reality of what someone actually needs to live. Like I'm pretty sure Kanye's fine. Like we have people who are barely, not even thousandaires being like, he's fucking broke now. You're not a billionaire anymore. Hey, motherfucker, you're a hundredaire, if that, on a lucky day. All right. Most people are out here being negative heirs. Okay. Because you're just like living life on credit. Shit's wild, son. Let's move on. We weren't planning on talking about this. Something that cool has happened that I like. It's controversial. You know your boy likes Marvel movies, loves comic book movies. I just like movies, okay? And I'm not a movie snob. I'm not a cinema snob that's like, oh, Marvel and blah, 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 blah. Fucking Quentin Tarantino, relax. Even though Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is like one of my top movies of all time. That's a phenomenal movie. If you don't know, DC comic books has been kind of the joke of the comic book movie. Marvel has had such a stranglehold since the first Iron Man movie. Go back further, Blade. Blade was a phenomenal movie that still holds up. I say it still holds up. I haven't seen it in years upon years. Okay. Marvel did amazing with Iron Man because what they did is they slowly created a universe. They made the Iron Man. They made Captain America. I want to say they did Thor. And then they did Hulk? No, it wasn't Hulk. Hulk came later. Anyway, but they slowly sprinkled in these characters. They built these own worlds. And maybe they would mention like Stark Enterprise or, Captain America. There were these little Easter eggs in all these different movies. And then they started doing the Avengers. Then all these characters that you individually met they had these crossovers and created the cinematic universe. It was a beautiful thing. My willy would tingle if they just mentioned another character in a different movie. I'd be like, oh my God, he said it. A web slinger, They would like just these small things. But then they started doing the most insane crossovers. Like by the time Infinity War, even Civil War, when Civil War hit, dude, and then you had Endgame, and it was just amazing. Like these beautiful, like over like a 15-year period, they built out these movies for this big cinematic finish, this timeline. It was beautiful. Most recent Black Panther movie, fucking Wakanda forever, baby. Okay, it was beautiful. But on the other side, you have DC trying to play catch up, and they're not doing it patiently. So what they did, okay, we have these characters. We got Batman. We're going to recast Batman. We have Superman. Superman was okay. We have Aquaman. But what they did is they just gave them all in the same movie. What was it? I don't know if it was the first Justice League or if it was Batman. But when they had everybody there, it was just like you just introduced all these characters in one movie, no backstory, but you want everybody to be on board with it. They made the exposure way too dark. They went. That's why everybody made the jokes DC dark, like they wanted to be different than Marvel. Then they did that bullshit Shazam. The fuck out of here with Shazam. Don't get me started on Black Adam. Okay, Black Adam could have been a great movie, about 30 minutes too long. And he said Shazam. Don't say Shazam. Okay. But here is the point I'm making. DC had all these characters, great characters. They should have gotten great writers to write for them. Dude, Wonder Woman 2, whatever, 1874, whatever that one was. Dude, it was a movie. At the end of the movie, it went, hey, everything in this movie didn't matter. It was like a fever dream. None of it actually took place. Like we went back in time or some shit. It was just a waste of a movie. Ever since Gal Gadot did that goddamn Imagine video during the pandemic, I haven't fucked with her since. Okay, you remember when Gal Gadot was like, "Imagine there's no heaven," and she fucking, could you be less personable? Hey, we're all going through this right now. And she's like, "Hey, chef, where's my food?" Fuck out of here, Gal Gadot. It was not cool. And Will Ferrell, you were in the video too. Not okay. You know better. Anyway, they just introduced all these characters. They didn't give them enough character development. And even like Cyborg and everything, like none of it was good. There was all these overlapping stories that didn't make sense. And so all that to be said is something crazy happened this past week. If you know Guardians of the Galaxy, great franchise in the Marvel movies. I think they're the most watched Marvel movies. I think period. No, I think Infinity and Endgame kind of overtook that, and Spider-Man, which was another phenomenal crossover. James Gunn directed those movies, and I think he wrote them as well. He also did Peacemaker, which was a great show. He is now running DC Universe as a whole. The Feige brothers run Marvel. They're in charge of the direction, all of that. The studio answers to them. They're the puppet masters, which I think this is what you need, is somebody who's brilliant, in charge of the whole storyline and direction. You can't have so many different cooks in the kitchen. It's like remember that game you'd play when you were a kid, where it was like you'd go around a campfire and everybody could say one word and you would create a story like that, because someone would they would just fuck it up. I don't know if you ever played that game, but it was just like you would go around a circle and one person would be like, there, next person would be like, was a person who loved, and someone would always fuck it up. They would just say the same thing over again, and they would just like turn the whole fucking ship. Really, now we're gonna have a shitty storyline because none of us are on the same page. That's what it was like with DC. Nothing made sense. But now James Gunn, who is brilliant, dude, fucking the person who created, was it Baldy in Peacemaker, the bald eagle, and Groot, his same person, is now in charge of creating all of DC going forward. And he did the greatest thing ever. He walked into DC Studios. I'm just dramatizing this whole thing. I don't know if he actually walked in and had this moment. But metaphorically, here's what he did. He walked into DC Studios and he said, Superman was in there, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, all the actors were in there, Batman. And he goes, hey, you, over here. You're fucking fired. You're fired. You're fired. They were already like prepping the next Wonder Woman movie. He goes, no. Throw all that tape away. No, you're fucking fired. Imagine all the people. You're fucking fired. All right. Literally scrapped the entire DC universe and said, we're starting this whole thing from scratch. He says, yeah, Henry Cavill, we know we just brought you back and everybody's really excited for you to be Superman. Fucking fired. Okay. I'm sorry. We're going younger. Which is sad. I thought Henry Cavill was a good superhero. But this is also why you need someone to come in and go, hey, let's all get on the same page, okay? Because they introduced Superman with The Rock as Black Adam, and that also puts that in limbo. Is The Rock going to come back as Black Adam? I don't think it's a terrible character, okay? And obviously The Rock sells, okay? But I think James Gunn is more story-based. And all I'm saying is this was a tight move, and I think we're going to get some bangers out of the DC universe now. All those characters are dope. Superman, obviously. Is Superman maybe the most iconic superhero out of all of them? Out of Marvel? Out of DC? It might come down to like the fact that DC has two of the most iconic characters, Superman and Batman. And you're telling me you guys kept fumbling the bag when you have those two characters? Huh? listen, everybody's chasing women's rights and wanting to virtue signal. You got a character named Wonder Woman and you can't figure out a way to make a great movie with it? Huh? How? But you know who they need to get rid of is the fucking Flash. I don't know if you've seen the stuff going on with the Flash. The actor, dude, popped his lid and came back to reality since. Real weird. You got to vet these people. All right. I'm just excited. And they're going to keep on Jason Momoa, but Jason Momoa is just going to play a different character. He's going to play someone named Loba. Okay, which I'm here for. He looks more like that. That's what never made sense about him playing Aquaman is Aquaman is like a clean cut guy. I weirdly look like I'm wearing the Aquaman costume right now. If you know the old school Aquaman. But he was like a clean cut guy. He was like blonde and shit. We're going to have Jason Momoa play this. Jason Momoa's over here doing basic whiteface. Come on. Don't steal that role from a basic white guy, Jason. JM. Anyway, that's all, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I just want you guys to know I love you, okay? And I know that I've been an absent member of this community lately. I've been trying to stay on it, just been busy. You only have a certain amount of time per day, all right? But I'm going to be a more attentive man for you, okay? And we're going to start having guests on again. I liked having the guests. Some of you guys were impartial. Some of you didn't care, but some of you guys liked it and I enjoy it. Sometimes I get a little rambly on here, but the value of these episodes is going to go up for you. I promise you that. And thank you everybody who's been listening. I want to say we've been doing the podcast for 3 years now. Has it been 3 years? We're going on 4. I really don't know, but I know I started in December before Christmas. So I like to just look back, you know. The first episode, The Phantom Menace, bars. Crows were barking outside. We've done this episode too long, okay? But listen, your boy's going out to the deer lease tomorrow. Gonna bag a big old buck. I can just feel it, okay? I can feel it in my nuggets, all right? Thank you for listening to the podcast and for being here through this journey. And just get out there and do something, kids. Get outside your comfort zone, all right? And remember, no matter what, I still love you.